Do you want to get better at backgammon? One of the best ways to do it is by practicing against the software such as Extreme Gammon or XG. And my good friend Dan Rovira joins me to do just that in this video. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, what you'd like to see in future videos, and I'll work on it. If you love backgammon, you can become a member of this channel, giving you exclusive access to the most popular videos. My book, Backgammon Backgame Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description where you get it. And if you're interested in lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is also in the description. Again, in this video, it's my great pleasure to welcome back my good friend Dan Rovira of Backgammon is Beautiful. Hello.
Hi, Alex.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, very well. Thank you.
My pleasure. It's been a little while since I've seen you. How's everything been?
Yeah, busy at work, teaching English. Some students of mine playing backgammon, tournaments. Yeah, non-stop really. So
That's great. That's great. And I appreciate you accommodating me. I know there's a time difference. You're in the south of England. Is that correct?
that's right. Yeah, just not far from Brighton.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, your channel is an outstanding backgammon channel. And I feel like you were one of the main inspirations for me to start a YouTube backgammon channel. So you were like the godfather of backgammon YouTube channels.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, you're doing a great job yourself, Alex, putting out lots of learning content, and getting great guests on your channel. And I think we can all do our part in
Right.
promoting backgammon, can't we? So,
Yeah, yeah. What inspired you to actually start the YouTube channel in the first place?
well, when I first started putting my videos together, there wasn't that much video content available on YouTube. And most people would, have to buy books, which were quite expensive at times, or look at websites. So I really wanted to put out short videos to help improving players, new players, just kind of engage with a strategy of the game. And I didn't plan to make so many videos. It started out really as a kind of hobby, and then I got some traction, and then I started creating more videos, and yeah, it's become a resource that has given value to a lot of new players. I'm really pleased about that, because when I was new, I looked at something like that myself. Um, so yeah, it's the more
Yeah.
we can put out there, the more we level the playing field. We democratize backgammon effectively.
It's fantastic. Thank you. So, for the viewers that are watching, how would you recommend that they improve? Let's say, like you started teaching like beginners or novice players. How would you recommend they improve their game?
I think if you really want to improve, you need a plan, you need a system. You don't write an essay without an essay plan beforehand. I get people coming to me who are keen and they want to improve everything at the same time. You have to take the elephant one bite at a time, right? So you find a small part of the game, whether the opening, and you just play the opening, you focus on the opening, you learn opening replies, read about the opening, and just perfect that part of your game. And then when you feel that's of a good standard, you can move on to something else, and so on. And it's piecemeal, but you build up this great kind of arsenal of knowledge, which is powerful over the board, rather than this superficial, broad understanding, which doesn't really help a great deal. You're still too scattered in your thinking.
Great advice. Thank you. Okay, in this video, Dan is going to join me to play money games against XG. We're playing on a beautiful Gammoner board, and this is a replica of the board that you own. The XG board is made by Rain. He makes beautiful XG boards. There's a link in the description to where you can get them. You're playing the red checkers at the bottom, XG the white checkers at the top, bearing off on the right. So this is a money or unlimited game, so there is the Jacoby rule. You're welcome to consult with me. The final decision is up to you. The most important thing is to have fun, and number two, to learn. And that's what we'll do. Here we go. Okay, so 3-1.
Okay, nice start. The best
Standard.
opening roll. Yeah.
Right. Okay. 5-3 for white. Okay. Double six.
Wow, well, that is superb.
This game is easy to play.
Very easy.
Oh,
And this is a double. Yeah, double six, 3-1. I mean, such a powerful opening that you have to send the cube here. Race lead, four prime. White hasn't split their back checkers. White is vulnerable there. I mean, the outfield. So easy double here.
and if you were white, would you take?
3166 is pretty strong. So I don't really love the take, particularly as there's another blot to pick up there. Although White has made a 3-point board, 16 pips up. Um, yeah, so I'll just go through some of the numbers. Um, Obviously, getting off the 18 point here, I've read, is quite difficult. But White's not going to get gammoned a huge amount with the anchor. So I think there's just enough for White to take in this position.
What would be like a market losing sequence?
I mean, double five, clearing the 18 point, double four, um, big double, certainly kind of clearing that kind of point. That's what I would say here.
How would you play a double four if the cube has been turned?
I'd just break the contact in the position.
You play 18 to 10. Would you consider like 18 to 14 and then making the 4 point to go for the gammons once they've been activated?
Um, yes, I mean possibly. I think though you really win enough gammons anyway. Just from the race position. The 8 point is still valuable because the 2 point hasn't been made, and usually that a 13 point, 14 point configuration can be a bit of a nuisance to clear. Um, so I think I would just make for 10. It still works well with the open 4 point. I may be wrong. I mean, making the rack, of course, is still pretty strong. Um,
Okay, so we'll take a look. Double and a take. Okay, so now 5-1.
so here, I think you just go from the 18. You hit a nat. That does give White some good fights from the bar, but it does clear that difficult point when White is on the bar. Usually the right idea with a race lead of almost 40 pips just to get
Right,
by.
that's what you mentioned. It will be challenging to break the 18 point, which is what you want to do, but this is a very convenient way to do so, clearing it to the 13 and hitting another one. Okay, now 4-2. Two up. Ah, okay. And now double five.
Okay, so I mean, well, the one at the back's not moving. I could make the 3 point, but of course, there's an option to just make 2 points here, which is super strong. Cube's been turned, maximize the gammons. So I think I just make the three and the one. Just put two on the bar.
Right, very good. And you
Yeah.
think that's better than playing like this?
I think this gives White more ways to make the anchor. So now he's got fours from the bar and also some threes. 1 3, 2 3, double two. Um, this does keep the checkers on the higher points. But of course, White enters, more time. So here, White's going to enter with 27 rolls.
Yeah.
Whereas if you hit twice, you're minimizing the numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go with this. Yep,
Okay.
double.
4-1 comes in and anchors. Okay. So now your next goal is to bring this around, right? The one on the
Sure.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Three
Uh,
two. Okay, so how do you want to do it? 3-2.
Okay, so I'm White's on the bar. I'm looking for some duplication here. So I'm going to play 17 to 14 to duplicate the twos. I only get hit back there with 4 2 and double two. And that just leaves a two to play, which is just to be 11 points, which is out of harm's way. gives
And
me
you're
good
one
ways to make the 8 point as well. So
right, you're one of the best backgammon teachers. So for the novice viewers, can you explain the concept of duplication, please?
So you really want to minimize the ways in which you're hit. And one good way to do that is to make numbers, the same number, play at different parts of the board. So whenever your opponent is on the bar, we can see which numbers are good for him by the open points in our board or where he already has an anchor. So for example, 4s and 2s are playable. So therefore, we want to make 4s and 2s good numbers elsewhere on the board. So if you were to roll a 4 or a 2 in this case, he would have to use a number to enter, and then he couldn't also use a number to hit. So you give your opponent fewer good rolls, fewer swing rolls to turn the game. Sometimes duplication, however, can be overplayed, and it becomes what's known as stuplication. So, I would say it's probably more of a secondary concern than a major concern. However, it does come up a lot, particularly in opening play, and particularly here where safety is really central with such a big race lead.
I remember that video on duplication. That was great. And this is great because it gives good coverage of the outfield here.
Yeah, well, making the 8 point is really strong with the open 2 point.
Right.
So there I've got good numbers. Sure, yeah.
6-1 doesn't come in. Okay. Now 6-5.
So this just makes the 8 point.
Good.
Leaves nothing.
Yep. Clears and makes landing spots. 4-1.
So again, I could slot the back, but that leaves, some good shots. So I think I just play to the 6 point.
Yes.
That checker on the 11, he doesn't really do much once a 5 point's made.
Right. Okay.
Utilization, as Mark Olsen would say, clean
Yes.
checkers to use.
Okay. Now 4-2.
Okay, so 4-2 is a little bit awkward. Of course, I'd like to clear the mid, but leaving that many shots is pretty dangerous right here. Any 5 hits, or if I leave one on the mid, then I get there's 11 ones, plus some indirects. So I really need to consider playing safe. And so let me think. So clearing the bar point creates a nice distribution of checkers, but makes it slightly harder to bring the mid home because the 7 is a nice landing spot. So I'm not sure. Another option is to play 6-2 and 3-1, because really all I want to do in this situation is just get home safely. I want to make it as easy as possible for me to get these checkers home. And I really want those landing points if I were to roll like 6-5, for example. So the board loses value. I don't really need the strong board here because I just want to race and get home. So this is going to be my play, Alex.
Yeah, this is that's a great explanation. What I tell people is the correct play is always dependent on the likelihood of future outcomes, and this gives you more possible good outcomes like the 6-5 that you mentioned, or even like 6-2 and 5-2, you could leave an indirect shot. Good. 4-3. Bringing builders for that open 4 point. And now double 2. Okay.
Okay, so double 2, so 2 down from the 11. Now, this is interesting because making the 9 point extends the prime and blocks double 5. But white is so far down in the race anyway that you're not really scared of double 5. And this can be more of a nuisance to clear. So my initial thought is 2 down to 11 and clearing the 8 point, 8-6. Now, this may be a bit of an overplay, of course, but it's easier to clear from the 11. And also, if I do leave a shot, it's only an indirect shot. I've got a feeling that this may be too much. So I'm just going to play the obvious, making the 9 points, I think. Yeah.
And have you ever heard the term uh the point seven away from the anchor called the Cinderella point?
The Cinderella point. Yes, I have come across that.
Because
Yeah.
it's easy to clear. So, okay, so we'll do this one.
I think sometimes they say Occam's razor, right? That the
Yeah,
obvious play is often the right play.
yeah.
But well, the double five there was quite good. So 6-2 lets us clear from the rear. Looks quite good.
Okay.
So again, just be mindful.
Double five. Okay.
Okay, so this is a little bit awkward. So I kind of feel he plays itself. I've got to play two from the 8, and then I've got to play two from the 6. Yeah.
Otherwise, you leave a block.
Exactly, yeah, and really awkward. And here, immediately, I've got some bad rolls, coming up, like 6-5, double six, double five, and so on, double four. Yeah.
There
Okay.
is there is the option of doing something. I think this may be an overplay, but like this and like this, trying to clear this a little bit easier, duplicating the twos, but you don't have to pay now. You may pay never.
Yeah, and that kind of maybe is a good example of a stuplication we
Yeah.
saw there.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course, it's going to hit you with a two. I
Okay.
mean, yeah. Okay.
6-5. Okay. More builders. All right. Now 3-2. Okay. So that was good.
So that's nice. Yeah, just make for two. And then here I can see, because my bar point is three away from the anchor, I need to be mindful of how threes play. This is what Kid Wolsey will call a danger numbers. You know,
Yes. Yes.
so 5-3 and 6-3 are
Okay.
going to be
3-2.
bad.
So the three is forced and the two.
And of course, yeah, let's lift it and just
Okay. And now we're
again,
one. Will we split? No.
it's
Okay.
interesting there whether the amoeba play is right or not. You certainly need to take time thinking about those numbers.
Yeah, here I'd probably leave too many pick and pass numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's why.
5-4, great roll. All right, so
Okay, lovely.
this is gonna play itself out, and
Yeah,
we'll take just a moment.
brilliant. Okay, so
Probably no gammon. No gammon. Have you heard the term running gammon, where you win
running
a gammon
down.
without having a checker on the bar?
Yeah, there you go. Resign a single game.
All right, now we'll analyze the first game. Outstanding play. So let's take a look. People like to look at the arrows. The straightforward plays will go quickly, like the 3-1 and the double six. And this was a double. It was almost a pass. Yeah.
I was thinking, yes. I mean, any modification to a position, then it's swinging towards a pass, and a certain scores, of course, you wouldn't be taking this cube. So
So this is actually a useful tool in XG. What I do is I call position modification. So I'll put it on another board, and now we can modify the position. So how would you modify, like if this were split, now there are more threats, right?
sure, yeah. So now you've got to have more attacking
Oh, it's
numbers.
still a take because there are options of attacking. But what if it were split up here? No.
I
Wow.
mean, but maybe if you moved red's blot, put a spare on a 5 point instead of a 6, for example. Now it's going to
Like
be a
this.
yeah,
Now it's too much. And then other things is like weakening the board, right? So like
yeah,
you could do that.
exactly.
That makes it a pass. And
Because
then
when you split the back checkers, even though White's more vulnerable, he has more opportunities to anchor up. So he kind of goes both ways, of course. Yeah.
and then you could look at it in a match, change the score. So I don't know, let's say 4 away, 5 away. Now it's a
Yeah.
big pass.
Big pass, three-way, three-away. Whenever there's a higher take point. Yeah.
Right. Very good. That's a useful tool, I find. Okay, and then the 5-1 was as we discussed, great roll. And the double five, you discussed it well. Very good.
Maximizing your gammons. Yeah, DMP, maybe you would no, still rather DMP with the highest win percentage. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. And then the 3-2, the duplication as we discussed. And then the 6-5 was good.
Yeah.
And what did it like with the 4-3, 4-1? Oh wow, look at that. I slightly prefer this play.
That's interesting. Yeah, I can see it. I mean, we did have some problem clearing our midpoint, so I mean, why not take a chance now? You're only leaving 2-4, so 4-1 and 2-1.
Yeah, that's one of the things I think about. It's like you think about like what's your next objective, which would be, clearing that point, and the best time to leave a blot is when the opponent's on the bar. Okay. And then this one, wow, it liked it.
Wow.
They were
Okay.
close. They were close, but it liked the pay now. I wonder if there's anything we could change to make it different, like maybe strengthening the board like that. Would that
Hmm. Yeah, it's much
no,
closer though between breaking or not. Yeah, interesting. I mean, I suppose because you have got such a huge race lead here, you really want to clear the contact now, and um, you may end up in a worse position by having to damage your board further.
right, like we saw with the subsequent play. Oh, oh, the double two. The double two, you had the right idea first.
Yeah, told myself out of it. Yeah,
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 these are tough when to know. But I guess like you think about what's going to happen in the future, what you want to do next is if you make this play, rolls are gonna you're gonna have gaps if you roll like 6-5, 6-4, things like that. Well, 6-4 is okay, but like 5-4, things like that.
and
Okay.
this is an interesting one in gameplay because, of course, we have the expression "it's a crime not to make the prime." But here, you're not playing a priming game; you're playing a racing game, and a racing game is characterized by breaking the contact if you're ahead. But here, you're not breaking the contact; you're actually adding contact. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. I always think to myself there are four primary strategies to win: racing, priming, attacking or blitzing, and contact. And you don't need the prime here. That's the thing.
that's right. Yeah,
Okay. And then the 6-2, oh, it's slightly preferred breaking the 8 point. Okay, no big deal. And the
sure.
double five, you had to play like that. And the 3-2 was straightforward. Next 3-2, unfortunately, had to clear, but the 5-4 you cleared, and that was it. Okay, on to the next game. 5-2, and now 5-4.
Okay, so just 13 to 8 and 24 to 20.
Very good. 6-4 makes the 18-point anchor. Some people are afraid of this anchor. Double three. Okay.
Okay, so 5 points. And then, yeah, I think I just made a 3 point. Yeah, strengthen
Yep.
the board. White is kind of inflexible here, a bit stacky. So there are some shot levers already. White could roll, 6-2, 6-3. And then I won the stronger board, basically.
Good. 6-5 is another one.
Yeah.
The ace shot.
Still not a double, but
Mhm.
staying back is good. Um, Here as well, I'm tempted to stay back, put pressure on that blot, um, turn that kind of asset to a liability for white. And I think I just play 13 to 8. Um, yep, okay.
It's always useful to have a spare checker on the 8 point. You start with a third checker, but once you use it, it becomes stripped. So if you wanted to like make the 4 point with the 4-2, you would have to break it, but now you can make it and keep the 8 point.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
3-1. Okay, how is he going to play this? Like that. Okay.
And
Some
that's good to know for me because now I get twos from a bar and also some ones that hit. So always looking for weaknesses in the opponent's position and trying to exploit those to your own advantage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so take a roll.
Okay. 6-4. So there's the 4.
Um, so the options are 21 to 15 or 8 to 2. I'm not going to give white a good 6 by playing 24 to 18, even though there is some duplication of them covering the 2. I think I just played 21 to 15 here. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things I've learned when you mentioned that is when you play like this and these seem to be close and they're communicated, there are many hidden cover rolls or double hitting rolls.
Double hits, yeah, that seems to be central, doesn't it, in these positions? Yeah.
Okay. Double 1. Okay. Covers the blot.
So again, he would have liked to have made the for 4 then, but yeah.
Okay.
So
5-2.
okay, so let's play 16 to 10.
15 to 10.
15 to 10, yes, please. Yeah, so I mean here the race is very close, so I don't really want to get hit. But the thing is, keeping a blot in front of an anchor, white's going to leave a lot of returns. So my initial thought is to play to a 10 and then play 6 to 4 with a 2, which gives me a good 6 to cover. And if white does hit with some 3s, I'm going to get a lot of returns from the bar. The other alternative is just to play 15 to 8 and maintain a small race lead. So interesting.
Well, let me ask you, if we play something like this, remember in the previous game where we had the 18-point anchor and we rolled a 5-1, it was a convenient way to actually clear the anchor and hit. So do you feel like this would be giving them a good 5-3, for example, or even other threes?
Yeah, so 5-3 plays well already because he makes the 3 point. I'm just like 3-6 is good. You know, I'd get 6 in the ones to hit back. 3-2, okay, it hits and but still leaves a blot. 3-1 is pretty poor. And white may not even hit with a 3-1. Okay, I feel like I need to do something here. So I think I'm just going to do that. 15-10 and 6 to 4 in front of a stripped 18 point. Yeah.
Okay. Now double 5. Okay. That takes care of that.
Okay, so uh,
3-2.
okay, so what can we do here? I think 8 to 6, and then let's play 8 to 5.
5. Would you double as white here?
So 13 pip race leads, definitely some sequences of hits with 5s and 7s. Yeah, I think it's a double.
Would you take?
So yeah, still a take.
Okay. Double. Okay. So one of the things I think about in these types of positions is just simply looking at the race. So it's 111 to 124, 13 pip lead, slightly more than 10%. So that would be kind of like a close to the take pass borderline. But here there's the addition of the contact. So does the contact favor you or the opponent? And
Yeah, so I mean, there is some contact there. You know, if white rolls something like 6-3, it's a little bit awkward, for example. and I might be able to get some shots. I mean, you can apply the 8, 9, 12 kind of rule. So it's not going to be a big take, but I think there's just enough here just to kind of squeeze a take out. Yeah.
My friend Steve Sachs says that if it's not a take, it's a mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, so take
Yeah.
5-3. All right. Now 5-4.
Okay, so just make the 4 points and then bring the 5 down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Double one. Okay, hits. Going for the gammons. 5-2. Okay.
So 2 in, and I don't think I can step out because I'm too far down in the race. And that's if I do get hit there, I get less returns than getting hit in the board. So I think I just play the 5 in, 10 to 5. Yeah.
6-3. Okay, hits loose. Looking for the 2. No, 3-1.
Rat.
Covers.
Oh my gosh.
All
Yeah.
right.
Oh dear. So maybe it was too much to take there.
We'll take a look. Sometimes you get a shot in these.
Okay, good. Might get an awkward number. And that's not it. So
So let's try to save the gammon like that.
yeah, or 8 to 6, waste no
Coming perfectly. Okay.
Yeah.
2-1.
2 cross flavors, 20 to 18, 13 to 12.
One of the things I find is if you leave a checker here, it improves the PR because it gets you
I've
you
heard
get
that
two
too.
crossovers like that.
Yeah, sure. That's also fine. Yeah.
Now you're gonna
Um,
have to take it.
I mean, you could come forward to a 16, and I've got 4s, 5s, and 6s now. So yeah,
All right, that's
that's
get
yeah.
double 6 here.
Double 6. Saves me.
Let's see.
Okay. Uh, there,
No.
there you
Okay.
go.
All right, now we'll look at the next game. So here, after the opening 5-2 split, it was right to counter split, and the double 3, as you
Mhm.
discussed, you made the points, and the 13 to 8. Oh, this is where it liked that. It
Yeah.
preferred
Okay.
less
I missed it that
block.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, they're close, but that's an interesting one. Okay. And then the 6-4, like you discussed, see how bad this one is because it leaves so many numbers. And the
Yeah.
8,
Those double hits are pretty strong. Yeah. And
yeah.
here you can see I made a mistake there. Yeah.
I tried to convince you. No. But here it was overplay. I guess it's the race is too close, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought initially, and then it just felt a little bit passive. But again, safety is key, right? And I don't really want to get hit in this situation. So, okay, fair
Okay.
enough.
And then the 3-2, these were
Okay,
oh, it
yeah,
like the 13-10 to save some gammons. Here you lose 11 versus 10.3.
yeah, okay,
Okay.
yeah, I can see it. And then
And the double, it was still a take. Interesting. Okay.
yeah,
So I wonder if I don't know if you change the board at all. What if you bring in like one more builder here?
Hmm.
That makes it a pass.
Yeah. But now the race is
The bigger race, right?
more 12%, and yeah, now he
Okay, so
gets
let's even out the race here. It's still a pass. It's that extra checker in the zone. So
yeah.
like if we diversify it and keep the race the same, it's a pass because more numbers make the bar point or the 4 point.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. And
Now,
more hitting loose numbers as well with the diversity.
what if you didn't have a blot in the board? That makes your position stronger. Look at
Yeah.
that. Now it's barely a double.
Yeah, White has to be very careful bringing it home now, and hitting loose is dangerous. Hitting loose with a 5. and getting hit back, any dance is going to be a redouble. So
Right.
yeah,
Right. Okay. And then the 5-4 was straightforward there. And the 5-2, these were tied. Okay. And
fair enough.
then there was basically nothing we could do. Okay, on to the next game. 6-3 for white. Now 6-4.
So hit, and then split from the back.
Yeah. Usually one of the things that I think in the back of my mind when the opponent splits to the bar point, if you're hitting with the 6, usually you want to split. But if you hit with the 1, oftentimes you want to come down.
2-1, yeah, sure,
Yeah.
because you strip your 8 point, right? So
Hits
uh,
twice. Tiger play.
tiger, yeah, single tiger. Um, comes in, which is good. Gets hit back. It's going to be messy. This one, I think.
I
Uh,
recently did a video with Michi and he had a tiger play, so that was exciting.
yeah, I saw that one. It's good.
Yeah,
5
hits
6
back
5, and I think we have to hit. Stop White making the 18 point.
on the bar point, right?
Yeah, it leaves a lot of returns, but I can't see anything else that's any good. So yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
2-1.
so 2-1 make the 5 point.
Good. Double 6. Okay.
Okay, interesting. 3-1. Slot the 4 point.
So now they call this the dragon with the tail, the anchor with the goalkeeper.
Yes. So I'm down in the race. I'm looking to make the board, and hope for a shot. It's something always to think about, isn't it? Game plan. Like, what is it you're trying to achieve over the board? What is the narrative?
Right.
Uh, I always think there's mathematical players and then there's kind of storytellers. Um, so here,
Yeah.
I'm trying to build a board. Okay, cool. So
It's 6-4. Okay.
okay, so that's great. Hit and then make the 4 point.
Very good. Turn things around. All right. Play safe.
So in this sort of position, whenever I make the rack, what Roberti calls that structure, the 6-5-4, I always stop to think, is it a cube? Because so many positions with a rack are doubles. I think here it's a little too early, but it can't be that far off. So I'm going to take a roll here. Yeah.
What aspects of this position do you feel make it premature to double?
I've got quite a lot of blots to bring around the board. I don't have a huge amount of attack potential in my front position. So just a little bit too much to do, really.
Not enough threats. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But
5-1.
okay, so 5-1 can hit, of course. That's one play. That takes away half of White's roll, which is quite good because White's got a stacked 6, threatening to make in a board points. Another play is 14-8. Um, Now, because a cube hasn't been turned, I'm more tempted to play 14-8, which is still a good point, and it minimizes my blot count. Race is close. Okay, let me have a look at the hit again. See if I hit, and then the 1 is also no. I think I just make the 8. I think I'm too scattered. So yeah,
One of the things I think about when I'm considering a tempo play is like say you play this and then maybe you just consolidate a blot here, right?
yeah,
So there are 9 dancing numbers, right? So then what I do is okay, so I identify the 9 dancing numbers. Then I look at the other play like this, and I think about how do those dancing numbers play for white should you not hit. Like double 6 is actually pretty good. Double 5 is great. Double 4 is good. Uh, 6
yeah.
5 runs. 6-4 can do something. 5-4 is okay. Those are kind of the things that I think about to like identify the swing rolls. But you did mention the cube's not turned, so you don't want to make an aggressive play yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so you like this one?
Um,
Sometimes I'm wrong.
I mean, I guess the thing is here, like I play 6 to 1, falling to 13, and white dances, then that's gonna be a pass, isn't it? I mean, so here this kind of gets a cube involved in the game. Um, okay, let's go with your play here. Be aggressive, even though the cube's centered. I think it leads to better cube action afterwards. Yeah.
And if it's wrong, you blame me. That's actually something called cube impact, and we'll take a look at it. Okay. 6-2. Okay, so hits this way, but there are some return shots. 4-2.
Because it makes it 20 points. Yeah.
Okay. 6-5. Has to play safe. So if you look at this position, what is the next checker that you're going to touch?
So the midpoint.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
okay. So 5-4.
So let's make for 1 and then bring a 4 down. So usually correct to make the ace once you've started it. Yeah.
It converts the liability into an asset. Okay, 6-2. So here's a shot.
So notice white is not doubling, even though there is a race lead there of quite a margin. It's because of a contact in the position. Here, not a double, but I've got obviously some good hitting numbers here, 5s and 8s. So okay, take a roll.
Yeah. 2-1.
That doesn't do anything. So what can I do here? I think. Maybe just play 13 down to the 10 point or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
Double 3. Okay. Now that's a strong position. 6-2.
Okay, so 9 to 3 and 10 to 8.
8. There's also like sometimes like I think this is the best play here, but sometimes I think about it. So you have a direct cover with the 5, and the indirect you get an extra 6-4. So you have all the 5s plus 6-4. If you do something like this, you have all the 5s, but now you have 9s, so that gives you 6-3 and double 3, a little bit more, but I don't think it matters, and I think this is not a good position to be in anyway. So you play this, and now you think white has a double?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, race advantage, blitz advantage. Yeah.
Okay. And
Okay, so this one I don't really love. I mean, in a holding game, a 20-point holding game, you can take really deep in these positions when white hasn't made the bar. You can take, 60 pips down. I mean, in those positions. The issue here is the goalkeeper is really a liability because white's going to point on that with 9 rolls. And he'd lose with other rolls, and I've got a blotting board. So I'm just trying to see if there's any bad numbers. So 6-5 is slightly awkward, hits loose. 6-2 makes a point. 6-1 makes a bar. 6-4 is good. 6-3 is good. 5-4, 5-3. Yeah, I think the combination of the race and the attack potential swings me towards a pass here. Yeah.
so if this checker that's on the 23 were on the 20 points,
Then I'm
then
taking.
it would be a comfortable take. So I
Yeah.
guess sometimes I think about it that way, and it's like, how many variations are there where that will happen? Of course, white will roll first, but then you might have a chance to roll a 3 or something.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
also the other thing is like this, the board is not good. Having the ace point decreases your containment value.
Yeah, and it's interesting because positions with a goalkeeper, sometimes you can take again really deep, but it depends whether the goalkeeper is actually doing something. Because sometimes it's actually a problem, it's a liability, and it's not an asset. And I think here it's more of a problem, it's more of a liability.
What do
Because
you think would be if the goalkeeper were on the 24 point rather than the 23 point? Because now rolls like 6-4 and 6-2 do not point on hit.
um yeah, it will be better, probably, you know, we'd have to look at that one. Yeah, that
Okay,
would be
we'll take a
interesting.
look. Okay,
Yeah.
so pass.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll analyze the next game. So now the 6-4, like we discussed.
Yeah.
Okay, and the 5-1 was forced, and the 6-5, that was right to hit here. And the 2-1 was straightforward to make the point, and the 3-1, you're just preparing your board. Very good. And the 6-4 was a good roll. You hit and covered. And this one, okay, so it looks like these were close.
Ah, Alex, I knew.
It did like this one. It did like
How,
this one.
how dare you?
I know. See, you can blame me. What if the cube were turned?
Yeah,
Let's
then you can see reflected in the gammons, can't you? So it's gonna be what's an error between friends, you know?
Oh, it's a small, yeah. Still it likes the 14-8.
Okay, but it's closer, isn't it? Yeah.
Close. It's 25. Here it's 32.
It's because of the blots around the board. It was so many blots, and usually having them on both sides of a board at the same time is a mistake. Um, the general
So
rule.
what if the cube were still in the middle and this were here without a blot there?
Here,
Two.
well, one is a bit awkward now,
The
though,
one
right?
is awkward, but there are options.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it still likes that. Okay, very good. Yeah, I tell my wife sometimes I'm wrong. She says more than sometimes.
And
Yeah.
let's look at the double as
Yeah.
well.
Else was this? This was where you wanted to cover the 2-1, and this one, yeah, this didn't matter. It was a pass. So it was a small pass. Let's put it on the plus plus. So for those that are not familiar, this gives you a higher level of analysis when you do the plus plus. It's a double and a pass. And what else were we going to look at? Um,
I think if you move that checker back to the 24, so this is
yeah,
going to be
we'll look at the 24 first. Okay.
yeah, this one,
So now it's a take because of that. So you don't have those numbers that we discussed.
yeah.
And if it were here,
Take, yeah,
now it's a
sure.
take.
Usually when you're winning in two game plans, it's often leaning towards a pass. And here it's race plus blitz. Um, so that's one way to think about these positions. And yeah,
Okay, on to the next game. 5-4. And now 4-2.
make for four.
4-5-1. Comes out.
Mhm.
Another 4-2.
So hits with 11. So I'm tempted to bring another one down here because you've got a priming structure with a 6 and 4 made. So yeah, I'm gonna do this. Aim for a 5 point.
It does duplicate the 5-4 for white that can anchor a hit.
Yeah, also good. Yeah, and white is a bit stacky in their front position. So I give them good double three, double one, and so on from a
And if
bar.
white rolls something awkward like a double six, double four, 6-4, 6-2, something like that, you may be able to double.
Sure. Yeah, I think you're always looking, aren't you, for those opportunities, and that's a
Oh,
five
four.
four.
Okay,
You said.
okay, so now have to roll
Yeah.
6-2.
Okay, so I can make the bar here, but the 11 point is really valuable also to have because stops white just running with double six. So I think I'm just going to make the 11 with a 2. And then with a 6, I mean, I also want to get moving from the back because white is advanced.
Right.
Um, but but again, you know, white is still interesting. I mean, I could make the 9 and play 24 to 18
Oh,
as well. That's attractive. Um, I feel like I need to do something with my back checkers here. Um, Let me have a look. Go back to the original position. Because the issue is if I play 13 to 11, then I strip my mid and I have to play 9 to 3, which
yeah.
and I don't move my back checkers. No, I think I'm just gonna play 11 to 9 and split to the bar with a 6. Yeah.
Nice balanced approach. Very good. 4-2 does not hit against the stronger board. Okay, double four.
Okay, so double 4, 1, 2. Okay, so I think I just give the 18 to the 6, and then I think to the 2, just slot the 2. Yeah, I mean, or actually, hmm. So let's get that 18 out the way, and then 13 pips up. Part of me is tempted to play 24 to 20, but then that does come under the gun with 3s and 1s and some 8s. So I just feel like I don't really want to get attacked, even though I have more opportunity to escape. Um, so I just think I just play 6 to 2 with the last 4. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Yeah.
Now 5-2. Right, brings 2 down. Another
Uh,
four.
yeah. So make the 2 with one of them, and then the thing is, do I? So now I'm tempted. So now if I play 13 to 9 with another one, and then where are the other 2? Well, I just feel like clearing the mids just put stacks my 9. So I don't really love that. So I think with the last 2, I think I just have to make a break for it to the 16 and hope I'm missed.
Yeah, now you're up by a lot, so it works better when you're missed.
Yeah.
Okay, 4-2. No. Okay, 6-5. Okay, so there's the 5, and with the 6,
Slot the 3 point. Yeah.
right? I
Mhm.
I don't think I'd double as white here, would you?
I mean, yeah, there are some threats, right? But yeah, you're still stuck back on the anchor and you're down in the race by a fair bit, so it looks premature. Yeah.
Oopsie. Does not. Okay, hits loose there. Six
Okay.
five. Okay, so there's the 5 and cover.
Then I cover, yeah, with a 6 and get prepared to double. Yeah.
Right, right. 4-3. Okay, and now 40
That's
50 in the race.
that's a double, yeah.
Double. And would you take if you were white?
So, um, I mean, yeah, like I said before, you can take deep in these positions. I mean, but you are on the bar against a 4 point board. Um, yeah, I think I pass it as white. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes when I think about the opponent's choice, it actually helps me make my choice because, like, say you weren't sure if you're going to double or not, you look at it from your opponent's shoes. Would you want to take this? No. So now you know it's a clear double. Um,
Yeah.
double and a pass. Okay, next we'll review the next game. So the 4-2 was straightforward, and then the other 4-2, yeah, you brought 2 down, which was nice. It did duplicate that 5-4, which you actually rolled and anchored. And the 6-2, this is the one you discussed, and this was a very balanced approach because you don't want to strip the midpoint with 2 checkers back. Have you ever seen that seminar by Michi called Gravity?
I think I have, yeah. It's a good one, yeah.
So he talks about like when your midpoint is stripped or even reduced, you really need to get the back checkers moving. It has to do with how to play sixes because you don't have a lot of good sixes once the midpoint is stripped.
Yeah. And there's also a symmetry, isn't there, in backgammon that when your opponent has advanced, you want to advance. And there's
Right.
that kind of idea of balance in the game. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the double four, it actually did like the idea. that you did on the next play was to move up, which resulted
Yeah.
in position. Guess you're up enough in the race. I wonder if like the racing lead were smaller, it would change anything. So
13 to 9, it kind of also was borderline, wasn't it? But then
oh yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. Right.
I suppose the issue is here by playing 6 to 2. If White brings some checkers down into the outfield with threes and twos, then I've got a blotting board, which is a
Right.
bit.
Which is what happened, yeah. So now let's see, in this position, the race is closer. And let's see what happens here. I brought a checker from the midpoint to the 4 point for white. And
Still
now,
reasonably close. Yeah, I mean it's just the game plan, isn't it? The race. You're racing,
yeah,
so get moving, and like I said, you get more escaping numbers when you're higher up.
yeah,
More ways to kind of
yeah.
extricate that last checker.
Okay.
Um,
And then this time
so
it was
yeah, this would have been a
good.
blunder now. So don't be afraid of a double shot.
Yep.
Um,
And this was a good roll, I guess. The next 6-5 was a good roll.
yeah, that was
This
pretty.
one was really good.
Yep.
Out, it was a double and it was a pass. But I guess like if white were not on the bar, like here, now it's a comfortable take. And if
Yeah,
white were here, this may not even be a double. Maybe it is. Yeah, this is not a double. So you see that
yeah,
our checker
absolutely.
makes a big
Yeah,
difference.
because of the rate. I mean, it's interesting because I always say to students that there are no easy cube decisions. You just need to stop and think because that's what players do. You watch commentary, you watch some of your videos, and sometimes someone like Mitchie will spend 2 or 3 minutes assessing a cube. Because then you don't make these snap decisions and you avoid making these monstrous blunders because you've looked at all the quadrants of the board and really played it forward by going through the numbers. Like here, sure, you could take it, couldn't you? Thinking, oh, it's a holding game, I can take it, but there's more going on because you're on the bar.
Okay, great. Outstanding play. World class. Congratulations. I
Yeah, no,
tell
I'm pleased with that. You can shave a little bit off that hitting play you made, but
yeah, yeah, that was my fault. But anyway, I tell people the most important thing to do is to have fun and learn, and I feel like we accomplished that.
I really enjoyed it actually. And I've just had a long day of work, and I was a little bit nervous coming into it, thinking, "Oh my God, I'm going to play poorly." But actually, I'm happy with the performance, and always good to collaborate with you, Alex.
Yeah,
With
it's always a pleasure to see you. You have an open invitation to return. I look at it as, if you make errors, that's an opportunity to learn. So that's good. What did you think about the session overall? Any interesting positions that you can take away?
Yeah, I know. I think it was really good. The cube decisions were definitely worth thinking about. The one with the goalkeeper. We had a couple of holding game positions, which are very common in backgammon. I think we managed together to cover some important concepts about how to think over the board. Like we're both teachers of the game, and you think similar to how I think, kind of conceptually over the board. And it's that kind of framework that you need as a toolkit to assess and unpack a position. So I think your channel does a great service to the backgammon world in elaborating, articulating, and providing a kind of an approach and a method to dealing with that stuff.
Thank you. I learned from you, so I appreciate that.
No.
Do you have any tournaments you're going to, upcoming tournaments?
So I'm going for one in Greece.
Yeah.
So that will be good. I'm going to see it as a holiday and backgammon tournament. And I may be in Monte Carlo. I'm not sure yet, but certainly the UK circuit. Go onto the website of UKBGF and check out their kind of calendar of UK events. That's always good. And yeah, hopefully I'll come over to the States at some point. and hang out
Maybe.
with you. I mean, I really want to get there, but my school holidays are kind of restrictive, but I'm trying. I'll see you one day.
Maybe last time you were considering in December, but there'll be one in June, and we're going to be having the USBGF Awards dinner, the Hall of Fame induction there at the tournament. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I also did a promotional video with Tony and Maggie Diamantidis about the Greece Grand Prix, where they'll also have the World Team Championship. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I'm going there to support the UK team, but also to enter as well the Masters tournament myself. So fingers crossed. Let's see how we get on. But I'm enjoying a week in the sun around a bunch of friends playing backgammon. I mean, what's better than that?
Exactly, exactly. Well, good luck, safe travels. Any final comments before we conclude the video?
No, just thanks for having me on the channel and happy to do it again.
It's always a pleasure. I appreciated when you had me on the channel. You have an open invitation to return. We'll go ahead and conclude the video. Thank you to the viewers for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, what you'd like to see in future videos, and I'll work on it. If you love backgammon, you can become a member of this channel, giving you exclusive access to the most popular videos. Again, my book, Backgammon Backgame Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description to where you can get it. If you're interested in the lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is also in the description. I look forward to seeing you in future videos. And until then, keep rolling your dice.